is Dr. V. Anitha Rani, Associate Professor of Chemistry from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So my subject is waste management, and today we are going to discuss about waste and its types. So what is waste? Waste are unwanted or unusable materials. So waste is any substance which is discarded after primary use or is worthless, defective or of no use. Or waste is generated or regarded as any unuseful or unwanted material that can't function anymore. Or we can discuss here, waste is referred to a substance that is discarded after its primary use and not used afterwards. So waste means that is the unwanted or unusable materials. So waste is any substance which is discarded after a primary use or is worthless, defective or of no use. We generate a large amount of waste every day. So waste generation and its disposal has started to become something to be worried about due to the increase in population. So nowadays more population is there. So we are throwing so much waste every day, from commercial waste or any domestic waste we are throwing every day. So because of the increase in population. So the difference in our consumption patterns and lifestyles, expansion of industries, commercial infrastructures, communication and the heavy use of the current technology. So as the technology is developed and industries are developed, now waste generation is more and more so in our surface of the earth. So types of waste. So waste can be divided into the following categories. So there are three types of waste: solid waste, liquid waste and gaseous waste. So we can take solid waste, what we are throwing every day, the food waste or paper, and liquid waste means the effluents that is discharged from the industries, and gaseous waste, that is also the gases which are released from the industries. So what is solid waste means? Solid waste refers to the unwanted substance that are thrown away by human society. So after, for example, we are every day we cut the vegetable, so that vegetable scrap we are throwing, and waste paper we are throwing, and waste bottles we are throwing after using. So all these are solid waste. So these include either we will get solid waste from industries, or we are getting from hospitals, biomedical, or we are getting the waste from municipal and agricultural waste. So there are different examples we can take. So in this diagram we can see paper, we are throwing the paper, and construction materials, plastic we are throwing, metals we are throwing, and glass and organic material that we are throwing everyday food, and also we are throwing the vegetable scrap. So all these are called solid waste. Liquid waste. So liquid waste refers to the waste generated by industrial cleaning, discharge or manufacturing process. So most of the time we will get liquid waste from industries only, So the effluents, okay, that is coming out from the industries, okay, we can take chemical industries or textile industries or sugar industry. Any industry we take, what we are getting effluents from the industries that are called liquid waste. That is the waste should be in the form of the liquid. Now gaseous waste, that is the one that is released in the form of gases. So when we take chemical industries, so always we can see from that industries the effluent will be, that is gaseous products we are getting, in the form of, we can take acids, okay, so we will take H2SO4 or HNO3, but that chemicals in the form of the gaseous product we are getting. So or by burning of the fossil fuels, okay, such as factories we can take, coal mines we can take, coal industries we can take. So we will get the gaseous waste from that coal industries. So from automobiles also we are getting gaseous waste. So if burning of the fossil fuel is not taking place properly, so we'll get gaseous waste, that is in the form of carbon monoxide. Or we can take the example petroleum. So all these are that leads to means we are getting a gaseous waste in day-to-day life from automobiles, from industries like factories, or we can take any chemical industries also example as a gaseous waste. Now, sources of waste. So, from where we are getting the waste? So, waste generation is an essential element of everyday human life. A variety of sources can produce waste. So, daily necessities such as food waste, the major waste what we are getting every day is food waste, and used plastic bags and water bottles, broken furniture, broken utensils, and clothes. All these are various sources of the waste. So, here we can discuss some of the types of the waste. So, we can discuss construction or demolition waste, and commercial waste, household waste, medical or clinical waste, agricultural waste, industrial waste, and chemical waste, electronic waste, chemical waste, mining waste, radioactive waste. So, various types of waste we can see, okay, and we will discuss now each one, and from where we are getting the waste, okay, the sources of the waste. Now, various kinds of sources of waste. So, construction or demolition waste. So, nowadays, everywhere, not only in the cities or in villages, you take any place, now we are constructing the buildings. Okay. So, when we are going for constructing buildings, we will get here the building, the concrete material what we are getting here when we are collapsing the buildings. So, that we are not disposing properly. We are not disposing properly. So, concrete debris, wood, large packing cabinets, and plastic building materials are made up of construction waste. So, that results from the construction of roads and buildings. So, demolition of old buildings. Now, everybody is they're demolishing old buildings, and in that place again new buildings are coming. So that the concrete, whatever it is, or bricks, we are not disposing properly. So, this is called demolition waste. So, next is commercial waste. So, commercial waste we will get mostly from the markets. Okay, we will get like disposable medical products, so textiles, so food, and we will get waste from the restaurants, hotels, markets. Okay, this is a commercial waste, and we can take household waste also. That is also we can include in commercial waste, and we can take the example paper, plastic, glass, tissue, or even toxins are examples of the commercial waste. But mostly we will get commercial waste from the restaurants, hotels, markets, and offices. So, these are commercial waste. Every day we are getting from the different, we can take like household waste or restaurants or medical products we can take. Okay, these are called commercial waste. Now, household waste. So, household waste every day we will get. Every day we will get household waste is garbage that is taken out of the home. So, household waste can be either it will be organic or inorganic. So, organic means we will take food waste. So, food or that is organic waste, and inorganic means we can take any other like metal. Okay, inorganic if we throw the metals and all. Okay, plastic, cardboard, rubber, paper, wood. Okay, we are not throwing every day. Okay, but often sometimes we will throw the like rubber, paper, wood and all, but every day we are throwing the food waste. Okay, so these are household waste. So mostly the food waste that is generated at home is organic, and also we are throwing electronic items. Electronic we are throwing the batteries. Okay, so after using that batteries we are throwing outside, but we do not know how much it is affecting the environment. So, and furniture, old furniture we are disposing, mattresses we are disposing, and we are not going for proper recycling. So, all these are called household waste. So, we can take the example in these pictures I have given already. So, we are throwing the battery simply outside on the surface of the land. And we can see here in the dustbins that we are throwing the bottles and papers, cardboard, and we are throwing the food waste, and we can utensils, old utensils also we are throwing. All these are called household waste. Now, next is medical or clinical waste. So, we can take, for example, Hyderabad city. So many hospitals are there. but every day how much the medical waste is going out, we do not know. But where they are disposing also, we do not know. Okay, so waste generated in medical facilities such as hospitals, we can take like clinics or operating rooms, and we can take laboratories. Okay, all these are called medical waste. So these include like surgical supplies, medicines, blood, body parts, or wound dressings, needles, and syringes. So different types of medical waste, we can take the examples here. But these syringes or what we are using, that clothes during operation time, and medicines what we are throwing, and blood, body parts, all these are every day we are throwing from the hospitals, so that we have to dispose it properly. So that is medical or clinical waste. Now agricultural waste. So agricultural waste that is generated by agricultural activities. So after cultivation of the crops, after collecting the crops, we are not completely clearing the field. Means we are the waste vegetable, means after collecting vegetables from the field, we are some of the vegetables we are just we are throwing on the surface of that field, the surface of that land or soil. So that is becoming like converting like a waste. So waste generated by agricultural activities, like we can take horticulture, livestock, or vegetable field. Vegetable field means we are throwing the vegetables simply on the surface of the soil. That is called agricultural waste. And also waste generated include empty pesticide containers. So most of them, they won't carry that pesticide containers along with them after using. Just simply they are throwing pesticide containers there only in the soil, and they are going, and that pesticide containers, they are not biodegradable, so they will remain in the soil, and that is leads to the agricultural waste. And we can take crop waste from agricultural activities, and we can take other than agricultural, we can take poultry farms. Okay, they are not cleaning properly, that waste they are throwing somewhere on the surface of the soil. Okay, or just they are not cleaning properly. Or we can take dairy farms. Okay, so all these are called agricultural waste. So next, industrial waste. So here when we take India or all the countries or Hyderabad, so many industries are developed. As the technology is developed, many industries have come. But here, how we are disposing the waste is that is not up to 50% also. The industries, they are not following to dispose the waste. So the waste which we are getting from industries, such as we can take different industries, chemical plants, cement factories, power plants, textile industries, food processing industries, or petroleum industries. From all these industries, we are getting the industrial waste. But where that waste we are disposing is that we have to take care of how we are disposing. So the industrial waste can take in the form of solids, liquids, or gases. So some industries, like food processing industries, we will get only solid waste. And petroleum industries, we will get liquid waste. And chemical industries, we will get gaseous waste. So from different industries, we are getting different types of the waste, and we have to dispose that waste properly. And we can take some other industrial waste also, like we are getting from power plants and steel manufacturing industries and leather industries. And we can take here we can get from that different types of industries. We are getting everyday chemicals, and we are getting plastics, and this plastics we cannot go for again for means like some plastic that is not biodegradable. Some plastic is biodegradable, some plastic it is not biodegradable. So the plastic which is not biodegradable, again we have to take care of that, how to dispose it, or we should not use that non-biodegradable plastic, we should not use. We have to use only biodegradable waste. So here these are the examples of the industrial waste. So we have to dispose it properly. So next I have given some pictures here. Every day what here different industries they are throwing outside the waste is we can see here we are throwing the paper or plastic or any scraps or any metals we are throwing outside, and wood. And you can see in the picture I have given some tires, old tires, okay, and plastic you can see that is remaining in the soil. In this picture you can observe here the plastic that is remaining in the soil, but that is non-biodegradable, it won't degrade, okay. So in that case we should not use the plastic. If we are using the plastic, we have to use less and we have to dispose it properly. Electronic waste. So nowadays it is increased, we are throwing electronic waste every day, okay. It is increased as the technology is developed, we are using more electronic items, and we every 2 years or 3 years we are changing the electronic items, we want to use new one, okay, and old one where it is going, just we are throwing simply, that is outside. So what are that electronic waste means? DVDs, music players, TVs, phones, computers, vacuum cleaners, and all other household appliances that are no longer useful, okay, we are throwing as a electronic waste, that are called electronic waste. So computers also we are not using for many years, and few years after that we are disposing, okay. So it is also known as e-waste, okay. Some e-waste like we know that we are using now computers, okay, or any laptops, or any electronic waste like mobile phones, old mobile phones. So all these are considered as whatever we are not using, but where it is going is just we are throwing that electronic waste into the soil. We are throwing on the surface of the soil, but there here what is effect is that soil is polluted, that leads to the soil pollution, nothing but we are affecting the environment. So what are that e-waste containing is that is containing elements like lead, mercury, cadmium, so which are lead, mercury, cadmium, which are harmful to humans and the environment. So we are throwing electronic waste, but what is present in that electronic waste is lead, mercury, and cadmium. So this is harmful to the human beings, okay, this is harmful to the human beings. So we will get different types of the diseases afterwards when we are using means when we are exposing to this type of the waste. Chemical waste. So chemical waste containers, so we can see outside the cities they are throwing the chemical waste cans, their big cans they are throwing outside, but from that can the chemical is coming out, and that is entering into the soil, and when the rain comes, so that chemical again it enter into the water bodies, and water is polluted, that water is taken by animals, or that water is used in the agricultural field. So now here by this chemical waste everyone is affected, okay. So the chemical waste contains all of waste consisting of chemical substance. So what is present in that chemical waste? Nothing but toxic chemicals will be there. So source include here industries, and we can take different industries, and commercial enterprises, and even housing cleaners also. So in our house also we are using chemicals, okay, we will use some chemicals to clean the house. So and we are throwing that simply outside, okay, but that leads to the again that is polluting the environment. So this is a household chemical waste, what we are using the cleaners. And if the waste is not recycled properly, both industrial and household batteries, for example, so in batteries also what is present? Chemicals only. What we use in batteries is chemicals only, that is also harmful. So we can take example again here, I am taking example same TV tubes, and we can take computers and some other electrical appliance components contain chemicals, so that can cause here chemical contamination. So lead and mercury from electronic components can seep into the soil and increase its toxicity in the soil and water. So when these elements like lead, mercury entering into the soil and leading to soil pollution, and here we cannot go for proper cultivation of the crops. And when these chemicals, toxic chemicals entering into the water, that water is polluted. So we should not throw the chemical waste, okay, into the water or the soil, and we have to dispose it properly. And next, mining waste. So mining activities might alter the physical and the chemical properties of the land and the atmosphere. So waste includes overloaded material, mine debris, waste left over after ore is extracted from the rock, and harmful gases released by blasting. So when they will do mining process, definitely we know that here harmful gases it will come out. So where that harmful gases are mixing means that harmful gases are mixed in the atmosphere. Now what is polluted here? Air is polluted. We are getting air pollution by these harmful gases. So when we are breathing that air, that presence of harmful gases in the air, who is affected here? Human beings are affected. Okay, so we should not here when we are going for mining waste, the harmful gases which are coming out during mining process, so that gases we have to collect, and we have to clean the gas, and we have to release the gases which are released during the mining process. Now next is radioactive waste. So sources of radioactive waste that includes the nuclear reactors, extraction of radioactive materials, and atomic explosions. So where the nuclear reactors are there, nuclear industries are there, so in that areas we will get definitely radioactive waste. So that radioactive waste, it is means we are throwing on the surface of the soil, so that means the soil is polluted here. So when we go for crop cultivation of the crops, agricultural field, so the plants will not grow properly. Why means because of the radioactive waste. So in this picture we can see here nuclear power plants, that operation is 80%. Okay, so I have given here some chemical container from where we are getting the waste. From industry we are getting some 4%, and 11% we are getting from fuel manufacturing. Okay, and medicine we are getting 5%. But here we can see in radioactive waste, but the waste is coming 80% from nuclear power plants in operation. So here in this picture we can see I have given all the different types of the waste, agricultural waste, and just simply the chemical containers or any other toxic chemicals. Okay, so they are pesticide cans, they are just leaving in the soil. Okay, but the soil is polluted afterwards, so that toxic chemicals entering into water bodies again during raining time, and that is also affected here. When that water is consumed by human beings, their health will be affected. And industries, you can see in this picture, from the industries we are getting the effluents which are discharged from the industries entering into the both soil and water. And wastewater treatment, we will take the wastewater and we'll go for treatment, wastewater treatment plant. So we are passing the wastewater into the plant and we are treating the water, and clean water we get, so that we will collect, we will use the clean water. But where is that waste collected, solid or liquid waste? The waste we have to dispose it properly, so that leads to the here again we are getting some sewage, sludge we are getting, or solid waste we are getting, so that we have to dispose it properly. And construction and demolition waste, so that is also leading to now it is included in types of waste, because we are going for construction of buildings nowadays. Okay, so that is also we have to dispose it properly. And mining waste, and majorly we can take in types of waste, that is the household waste, industrial waste, okay, and commercial waste. Means from the markets what we are getting the waste, from the house what we are getting the waste, and from industries what we are getting the waste. So all these types of waste, different types of waste, either solid waste, liquid waste, or gaseous waste, we have to dispose it properly. Now this waste is classified into two types. So we discussed till now types of waste, different types of waste. Okay, we discussed like a commercial waste, household waste, mining waste, construction, demolition waste. chemical waste, agricultural waste, different types of waste, radioactive waste. But here the waste is classified into two types. So the classification of waste is biodegradable waste and non-biodegradable waste. So biodegradable waste means we can after using that whatever we are using, for example we are taking like a food or paper, okay, so we can after using we can go for recycling, or that is decomposed by the microorganisms. That waste is decomposed by the microorganisms. So these are the waste that come from our kitchen. Most of the time the biodegradable waste is that comes out from our kitchen, and it includes food remains and garden waste. Next, biodegradable waste, it is also known as moist waste. This can be composed to obtain manure. So we will throw that waste, okay, into we can dig in any place. We can make into pit, like we can dig a pit and we can throw that food waste, okay, and we can convert that into manure, and we can use that manure in the field for the cultivation of the crops. And biodegradable waste decomposes themselves over a period of time depending on the type of the material. And non-biodegradable waste, so these are the waste which include old newspapers, okay. So just if you are using a new paper, okay, so no problem, but old newspapers and broken glass pieces, plastics, okay, these three, okay, old newspapers, glass pieces and plastics. So these are non-biodegradable, means it is not decomposed by the presence of microorganisms. It is not at all decomposed. So it remains in the soil as it is. It does not decompose. So non-biodegradable waste is known as dry waste, and dry waste can be recycled and can be reused. But here it cannot be recycled. Only few material only we can recycle, but all non-biodegradable waste is not recycled. So non-biodegradable waste do not decompose by themselves and hence are major pollutants. Okay, so non-biodegradable pollutants, we can see the example here in the picture. Plastics, plastic bag. Every day we will use the plastic bag. We will use the plastic bottle. Okay, in our houses, we are using most of the plastic items. So after using for few days or few years, we will throw the plastic outside. But that where we are throwing, we will forget. But that is not decomposed in the soil. So plastic bags, glass bottles and waste cans, all these are non-biodegradable. So non-biodegradable means the material, the things which are not decomposed by the presence of microorganisms. And we can take the example of biodegradable. So biodegradable example, we can take food waste. We can take vegetables and fruits, and we can take paper also. Paper also it is biodegradable, and we can go for recycling, or it is biodegradable. And wood also it is biodegradable. So these are the examples of biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So waste means these are the items, means we are using every day and we are throwing outside. So some are biodegradable, like example food waste, paper, wood. Some are non-biodegradable, plastic bag, glass bottle and can. So these non-biodegradable, we should not, that items we should not use more times, means we have to avoid it. We have to avoid to use plastic bag or glass bottle or cans, and in the place of that we can use which are the things can be biodegradable, we can use it. Thank you.